Like I think
So,
because I think it
sorry,
was
someone's
the
talking.
participation one. What did we turn in for the participation? Just curious.
Padlet. It's always Padlet. It's going to,
Okay.
participation is always Padlet, portfolio is always InDesign, right? And the participation, I think I do both this Monster Mash and I think Logo Mojo are
Mm-hmm.
the two. I want to say two. And it could be Inside Outside that has a lot on Padlet, like has two sections. Because
Yeah,
Logo Mojo
because I was
has
confused
two
what
sections.
because I was confused what we were turning in exactly, like for the Padlet version for the Monster Mash. Are we just doing like we how we did for like the Inside Out? We did like a work in progress submit. Is that what we're kind of doing?
Yeah, and I think it actually, I'm going to have a look. Participation 3. So let's have it. Let me just have a look. It says, I think, on the top of the participation, post your Monster Mash on Padlet. Open in a link. Oh, turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in. Hold on. Uh, Participation. Oh, hold on. So I think it says it on the top of each one. I set it up so each Padlet assignment is a section. So it will be Inside Out. Then there's the Crimea A and Crimea B. So Crimea A is your actual, and I put an image on the top is your actual image of your animal, and
Mm-hmm.
Crimea B, the animal in 4 different versions with adjustment.
Okay. So like we're just so
Right.
we're
I actually marked them, and you'll see there's typeface, there's the selfie, and then there's 2 parts, logo A and logo B. Right.
mm,
So every time there's one to be posted, I set up a section on Padlet.
oh,
And if
okay.
you, right, so I can share that with you people. I can let me just admit these people. So as you can see, everybody, this is Padlet. So and these are still rolling. You have all semester to get these in. They go in and out of being allowed to. So I sort of give you a rude awakening. So this is the animal, right? This is what the first Crimea is due, and quite, some of you have done it. And here's the second one, which is the 4 different adjustment layers. And you can see each one has been set up in advance. So it's pretty straightforward, I think, right? And by the way, I got some great inside outside images. They were really cool. There were some that were really great. So it was really fun to see the variety that people had put in place. So that was really good. So, are there any questions to start? Hi, Six. Hi, Sambra. Hi, Katrina. Hi,
Uh
Torrance. Can I just say one thing, Torrance? Thank you for sending that link. I hope everybody got the recording.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I like your haircut too. That's, if nothing
Oh,
else, I notice haircuts, right?
thank you.
Okay, any questions? Sorry.
um are we allowed to do like reptiles or do they have to be like just normal mammals like monkeys and stuff?
Who's that speaking?
That'd be me. Tyler.
You can use any animal. It can be a bug, an insect, but I don't want drawings of animals. Right? I
Okay,
don't want
yeah.
drawings. I just want images, because drawings start to get, you start to get into this mesh between, but really it's just learning. Again, we're just building on our skill sets. You've done the face painting, you've done the collage where you've learned to cut things out. Now these are putting it together. So you're just making a monster, essentially, right? So we're building on it. So the last assignment, you'll be doing two historical replicas of yourself. So you'll have to take photos of yourself and learn how to do that. And also this is understanding how to select images the correct size, right? How to get royalty-free images. And that's what this assignment. So I'm trying to cover quite a few things, and I understand it is a lot, and it's just really one skill set, building on another skill set, building on another skill set. Any other questions? No? How's everybody going with their monster? Has anybody done any apart from one or two?
I still need to start mine because I've been busy this week.
He's cooking, by the way, everybody. So while he's talking, he's cooking.
I have a question,
No
actually.
questions, Isha. You can't ask any questions. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I actually emailed you. I called the student help desk, and basically they were saying that the link that you used or something, the link is broken and it needs to be fixed. So I wouldn't be able to access it until it's fixed.
What are
But
you
they
trying
told
to access?
the how to on the Act Two, the collage one. I'm still like that's the only part left I have to do is like the actual collage. But I did like the pictures and everything. I just have to look. I was looking for the how to.
Sure, it's so strange. Can I just say it's strange? Because if it's broken, everybody else seemed to get access to it. So I will relink it. I will crash it and relink it. But, I'll have another look.
Okay. Yeah. They told me to forward, like, to include them in the email. So they also emailed you, but I didn't see a response back before today.
When did you, I haven't seen the email from them. I just checked my emails under the thing.
It's not on Canvas. It was like through our actual email. I emailed, I think,
I'll
on
check
Monday.
that. I'll check that. But
Okay.
I want to know which it is. So let me share the screen, right? So we can see. So everybody knows this is Padlet and this is your participation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the syllabus. We love the syllabus. So let's go to inside, outside, right?
Yes.
Act 2, how to. Let's see if it's working. There it is.
So that part loads, yeah, but the rest of that doesn't load for me for some reason.
There's the process, and there's the transfer to your devices. There it all is.
Yeah, it doesn't load on mine, and I don't know why. Like, I've reached out to the student help desk. I've cleared my cookies and cache. I've
I
switched
know. Is
between.
anybody else having, I get it, but is anybody else having the problem? Because the link is working. So I'm going to talk to them. I will go onto the email for them, right? And check because I don't trust, I shouldn't say that, not while I'm recording. Okay, let me look at my emails after this and I will send them a link to what it is. So you get the top half, the first half of it, do you?
Yeah, I got the top half. I just like when I go to the how to, I can't watch any of the videos.
There are no videos.
There's no what?
No, there are no videos.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm driving. Sorry.
That's okay. Look, if I
God.
do create a new image, you click on that and it'll take you how to create a new image.
Yeah,
So,
mine isn't loading properly. It's definitely giving me like that big square, and then it has like a little square with a question mark in the middle of it. And they said if I right clicked that and then copied the URL, it would take me to like the correct page, and it just has not.
these aren't even pages. These are actually images of me doing it.
That's what I thought, but yeah.
Wow. I will talk to them and I will send them a link because what they're saying is very strange, right?
Yeah.
And did anybody else have a problem with that?
I had that problem because for me it wouldn't open on Safari. So I switched to Chrome and then it loaded everything.
Yeah,
So
maybe
that's
that
it.
might be it.
Okay, so maybe that might be it because I am using my Mac, so it is Safari.
Yeah, and so you might have to download Chrome and do it through Chrome. And Safari does do some janky things. And can I say, so does Firefox as well. I am using good solution because I've tried to figure out what the solution is. So why don't you try and download Chrome and work through that? Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, thank you. Somebody, hallelujah. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can't see who was talking because, like I said, I'm driving.
Is that you, Sambra?
Thank you.
Who actually?
I don't know. I just had that problem and that's what worked for me. So hopefully that
And
works.
maybe I'll write that at the top. Use Chrome. And here's that, use Chrome. And I'll put that in my directions at the top. Thank you so much, Sambra. That's awesome. Well done. There you go, Isha. We might have resolved it finally, right?
Okay, perfect. Because that was like the only thing holding me up from doing the monster one. Because I know you said they kind of like stack on top of each other. So if I didn't do the collage thing, I probably wasn't gonna understand how to do the monster mash completely.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So how's everybody going with their Monster Mash?
I have a question for the Monster Mash.
Yep.
So for me, I'm using an orchid mantis as my base. Am I allowed to use the same animal species, like a praying mantis?
Yeah,
Like the
you can
eyes and
use,
just place it on there?
yep.
Okay.
So
Was
long
that
as you have 6 different parts, it's good.
okay? So it doesn't matter if it's the same kind of animal species as long as it's, different.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
How many animals are we allowed to use again?
You can use up to as many as you want, but I want to see 6 different parts.
Okay.
Okay, so I went through it last time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've pulled up 2 animals. I've pulled up a camel head and I've pulled up my dog. I like to take my own photos just because I know the resolution is going to be good. But what I'm actually going to do before I even start, I'm going to go through the adjustment layers so you have a bit of an understanding of what the what we have to do for the how to monster mash, no demos, no procedure, no. I'm just trying to find the Act 1 demo procedure. Where are we? How to 2. So what you'll see with Monster Mash and Monster Mash 2 is, let's see if any of these work. So we'll go raster. That's your Monster Mash. Monster Mash 1, 2, 3. This is what is due. We go down the bottom. If I'm lucky, it will show me Act 2 portfolio Padlet. See if I can get to the, here we are, got it, right? So this is actually what you are going to be producing. So once you've made your monster, you're going to create a new, come on, Angela, document, and it's going to be 2000 by 1400 at 150 DPI. You're going to break that into 4 even squares. So if it's a horizontal, you do it on the horizontal. If it's a vertical, you do it on the vertical, right? And this one is fairly basic because all you're doing is getting your one image, saving it as a PNG, so it has a transparent background, and then you are going to place it 4 different ways into 4 different varieties. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You all ready? And it will help you. It'll actually help you in the end. So here's Rover, and basically I've got Rover here. That's my dog. He's awesome, sort of. If he wants to be nice, he can be nice. I'm going to come under here. We're going to go to our window and we're going to show our layers. All right, here are our layers. So once I've got my layers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer so that if I make any mistakes, I know it's deprecating it, sort of making it a little bit not 100%. And I'm going to call this Rover, right? Just because I can. I'm going to take this off in the background. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go under here, and I'm going to see if they select Rover. There's Rover. It's not going to be perfect, everybody, right? Because how do I know it's not perfect? Because I know that black thing is not part of his ear, right? So I've got the selection, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mask of it. So I go down here. This is my mask tool. Then I'm going to I can double click here, or I can click up the top here, and I can select the mask. I'm not going to do it perfectly because you're going to come up to that. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plus it a little. I'm going to increase the opacity quite a bit. And I'm going to go over here and see what this is. This is my brush tool. And I am actually minus or plus. I don't want it to be very furry, right? Which is very, have much, I want it to actually be 100% hard. All right, I don't want it to have much feathering. And I'm going to come here, and what I'm going to do is if I do this, you will notice that if I blow it up, I am adding to it. Now, you have to do your refine, but I don't want to add, I want to minus. So I can just simply come in here, right, and minus rovers, the extra of rover. When you do this, please notice if it isn't hard. So let's come here, right? Let's make sure the hardness is 100% and not be blurred, because I don't want any of the excess, the softness, the feathering to be part of the image. I'm going to come down here, right? There it is. It's not very well selected, as you have to go through the selection. You can come up to the top here and you can refine the hair, right? I think I want it a bit bigger. You can add or minus and just, that's adding, right? Or you can minus, which is, it's a big minus. So you probably want a lot smaller when you are refining it, but it will soften the edge there and not make it so harsh. Do you see that? It takes a lot with refining to really get it soft. You have to keep going because it looks like it's doing nothing, but it actually is. But it just takes a lot to refine it. You can see his back. We do have a problem here with his foot and the leash. So I'm going to go back to here, which is my brush tool, and I'm going to minus it. I'm just guessing. I'm not doing it 100%. I will be noticing whether you do your refine or how you do your masking. Masking to come, sort of when you mask, I know it's sort of a bit back to front of what you expect. It's like doing a stencil. But once you get it and you can actually understand what masking is, it's really a great tool. Because once you start masking, you can actually really look at the edges and make sure that everything is looking pretty good. This is not great, right? So you go back between brush tool and then you refine the edges, right? But that sort of shows you rover. So once I've done it, I hit return and then I minus it down and there's rover. Pretty good, right? Whoop, we want to get off that. Now, rover is here, and the catch about this is you want the rover to be saved as a PNG with a transparent background, okay? You can pull out the background in the future. Is everybody okay with rover, right? If I wanted to, I could come over here. I could get the camel, and I can start to play, which I'll show you later, with putting the camel head on rover. But what I'm going to do right at the moment is I'm going to file and I'm going to export, and save for web legacy. With this, I want to keep the transparency. So if I look at this, it's saying it will be transparent. If it's not transparent, you get a white background. If it is transparent, you get a transparent background. Do you all see that? The white background, you can pull the white background out if you don't get it the first time when you go and do it for the next set.
Does that save it as a PNG?
Yep.
Oh, I think I may have been doing it wrong. I've been doing file export as PNG. I haven't been exporting it as for the web.
Right. And even with, you can even pull it out. Now up the top here, my computer is running slowly. You can do it as it can do it as a GIF. You can do it as a PNG. The reason they use PNG 8 is it means it's 8-bit and it makes it easier to be able to download on the web. It just makes it a smaller file. PNG 24 means it's got 24 bits, which means it's a heavier file, right? And if you do this and it, it should pull it up, right? And we can do it here. If you look at the GIF, you do it as a GIF. It gives you the colors. So it can be a GIF is the same as a PNG, right? So I save it. All right. I'm saving it. Where am I saving it? I'm not saving it to Act 1. I'm going to teaching. Where's teaching? Then I'm going down here. I'm going to Act here, double click there. Act 3, putting it in the same folder. Save. Right? And I'm also going to show you, you can even do file, and we'll do save as, save a copy, right? And we can do it as PNG, all right? And we can save it in the same way, Rover, and it will save. You don't need to have copy because it's a different format, and save. Okay. So I'm going to jump over here to my untitled. I'm going to pull Rover off here. And in fact, I'm going to delete Rover. Yes, we want to delete it. Now, we must have our rulers up here. I am a die-hard ruler person. So it was, I think the size of it, I'm going to double click here to get rid of the background. The other thing I will show you is portfolio. And what you will notice is this is, yep, what's up, Tyler?
A little off topic, but I was just say, where'd you find the images for the animals again? What was the link for it?
There are a lot of links in the actual how-to, and you
Oh,
look at royalty-free. You can use Shuttercock, you can use Getty's image. There's quite a few, and if you are Googling it, you say royalty-free images, which means they're images that people have put on the web that are not copyrighted.
okay. Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Anytime. So we have our layers here. So I'm going to go to my Photoshop, and I'm going to go to my settings, and I'm going to go down here to my units and rulers. You will notice that my units and rulers are in inches, right? Which means it's 0 to 10 inches. And it's down here to 13.5 inches. If I wanted to, you click under here and you can do it in centimeters or millimeters. So watch what happens if I change it to centimeters or if I change it to pixels, right? So that gives you whatever you're used to, that allows you to be useful, right? To be able to understand. So we're in pixels. So if I want to see the size of my image, I go Option Command I, and this is saying it's 1400 pixels in width and 2000 pixels in height. So we're going to divide this into quarters. So a half of 1440 is 720, right? And half of what 2000 is 1000. That's all the math you're going to have to know, right? Now, how do I get you're going to have to set it up so the image is exactly broken into quarters. I go into my ruler section and I go over and look, it actually tells me, there we go, 720, right? I'm going to name this guides, Guides, okay? So I want 720 and I go to the top here and I scroll down and you can see the number 550, 0.4 pixels. Come on down, come on down, come on down. So, and I can move it a little bit up so I know where it actually is. And what it is, it should be, if I wanted this to work even better, I would go to my view and I would snap to guides, or I would just snap, which means, and on top of that, I could come here and I could go to view and I could show my grid. And this would actually snap it right to the grid. Do you see that? So now I know I've got exactly where it is. So I would go to my view, I would go to my snap to, and I'd snap to the grid. And so it would do it in exactly where it needs to be, right? Does everybody see that? Yes, no, maybe Angela, right? I want to get rid of the grid now, so I go to my view. Do you want me to go over that again? And I'd go show, and I'd go grid and turn it off. So now I know this is the size of my image, right? So I'm going to lock this layer. So I'm going to put a lock here, and I'm going to get a new layer. I'm going to go into my rover. I've got rover here, right? But I should go back to my, whoop, come back. I hate it when that drops down. Sorry, I can't see anything.
I'm sorry, can you do the grid thing one more time, please?
Yeah, so I've got to find that. What happens is when I play with something, all the Zoom stuff drops down, and so it finds it difficult. So here's my guides, right? Sorry, I'm going to unlock it. So I would go to view is where you get all your ability to see your rulers, your guides, and your snap to. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your guides, right? You're going to go to your show, and you're going to show your grid. You have control over the grid. If you go up to your your settings, you go down here, and you can look at guides, grids, and slices. Okay, slices are actually for the web. So let's go to our guides and grid. I'm saying it's in blue. I'll show you what happens. The artboard is in light blue. The smart guides are in magenta. I can choose a color here. I can choose this in light red if I wanted to change it. So it changed the color in the background. I'm going to do a grid line every inch with 8 subdivisions. I can put this down to 2 subdivisions if I don't, depending. So I'm going to do it every inch. I could do it here in pixels, right? But I'm just going to do it every inch. Let's come here and we click OK. Notice the grid has changed, right? Inches. Did you see that? Yep. Okay. I've done my show. I've got my grid up. I want to snap to the grid so I get exactly half. And I also can choose snap to grid. Do you see that? That means every time you put an object, it's going to snap to a grid or a guide. You don't once you've set up your guides and your grids, you don't want to do that anymore. You want to get rid of that, right? Because every object will be snapping to those grids and guides. So then I'm going to go to my view, show, and get rid of my grid. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to come here. I'm going to go File, and I'm going to place Embedded and see what we can pick up. Rover GIF. Let's see if it's going to come up, or Rover. Oh, he's in the wrong way, right? Whoops. Okay, place. There is Rover as a grid. Now, because I did it as a GIF, there is no background, and I'll show you that. So here it is. We've got Rover in a grid. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Place Embedded. It's embedding it, and I will find an image. See if I can find an image. I was having fun today. Sorry. Let me see if I can find a decent image. Interesting images. What does that mean? That's a bit scary, right? Let's do it here. Okay, so this is the background. Notice I'm going to double click and say background, right? It is sitting on top of Rover. How do I get it in the background? I put it in the background like that, right? We know it's a smart object thumbnail, so it's not embedded yet. So what do I have to do? Layer, rasterize, all layers. It'll rasterize. So now we can edit it. So I'm going to come here, and we know, can you see, I now know that Rover is actually got a transparent background, because you can see, right? You can actually, come on, buddy, see him in the background. Does everybody see that? Yep. Okay. So for this assignment, you have to actually put Rover in each square. Put your Crimea in each square. So what you want to do is you actually want to transform him. So you go image, edit. I only know that you want to free transform, which is Command T, or you can go transform scale, right? And you can scale him down. Because it is Photoshop, you want to make sure that your Crimea is sitting in the image. Notice, see how it's snapping to? So you want to come up a bit, look at our view. We want to make sure the snap is off, right? And also what you want to do is you want to make sure that your image in the background is just a square. How do we do that? What you can do, I'm going to take Rover off. Here's my background. I'm going to select the square, which is going to be exactly the size of the image, right? Then I can do two things. I can go select inverse, which selects everything else but the actual image, but the actual area I selected. Oh, come on, sorry. And delete. And it takes out the whole back image, right? Or Command Z, which is undo. I can then go select, deselect, right? I can go select all, which is there. I can go image, edit, sorry, transform, Command T. I can bring it down a little bit, move it up, right? Make sure I get a bit more of the background. Make sure it's perfect. There it is. Hit return. And then I can come here and I can just simply, I could come here and I could select the area I don't want and, oh, Command Z. Come on, buddy. Let me just Command D it. I can select the area I don't want and I can delete it. Now I put Rover back on. Is there any questions? No? I'm just letting my dog out. He does it every time I teach, every time. So now we have our image. Now,
do we need to have a background for
that is,
our monster mash?
yeah, that is the Monster Mash 2. You have to put a background, right?
Okay,
That's the first thing. So we're just learning how to put backgrounds in, right? And I will bring that up and I will double check that. Okay. So create a 4 color and background variations of your creature, right? How to place an image in Photoshop, right? How to set up guides, which I've just done, and grids, right? Then how you have to do a duotone, a threshold, and then a filter, one of your own. All right, that's 4. So this is what you're going to get. The animal in the background, a duotone, a threshold, and a filter.
I'm still looking for the link for the website you recommended for the royalty free. Do you mind showing me on the canvas, please?
Can I show you that after I've done this?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, because we're just going through this assignment first, if that's okay. So does everybody see we have to do a duotone, a threshold, right? A threshold and a filter. Okay? All right. So we've got our background. Rover's looking a little odd and they look a little, so maybe if I'm back here, I could get the background. I can come here and it's not a great choice, but I could get the background and maybe I can go up to I can either go up here and do my image adjustments and have a look at brightness, levels, curves. This is the same as what you will be getting under here. Right? So I could do, let's say, curves, and curves will either lighten or darken the image, right? You can do it here. Now, the difference between what you do here and what you do up here is this here. Now, I know it sounds a little bit mathematical. This actually is only putting a mathematical equation to change the image underneath, right? So it's actually not changing the real image. Unlike if I got here, right? Can you see how it changes? Right? And you can double click here and it'll bring it up and you can put it down and up like that. Unlike, I come back here, I'm going to click there and I'm going to trash it. So it'll get rid of it, delete, and we'll delete. Yes, we want to. If I went up here and I went image adjustments and did hue and saturation, this will actually change the image completely, right? It changes the image. I can do saturation in the background, right? And I can actually change the background, but it changes the background, the image, the one layer forever. There you go. There's your first one, right? There's our first part. So what I'm going to, does everybody get that? Image of Rover. Here's this image. I'm going to come here, option click, and I'm going to move him over there, right? I'm going to get Rover here, option click, and put him down there. And then I'm going to option with the move tool and move him over there. Right you are, right? Each time I have option clicked the layer. Now, that is a way, if I wanted to do it that way, that would be fine. Then I'd have to get the background, option click, move it across, option click, move it down, make sure there's no gaps, right? It should be snapping. I should have my snap on and I can option click and put it over here. One way, right? Make sure it's in the snapping to and snapping to. Now, that's one way of doing it. Another smarter way of doing it would be if I've got Rover here and this is my background, which is copy to, which is the background here, right? Right? I could put Rover all the way down here. And if I wanted them on one background, right? I could come up here, I could go here, and I could, where are you? Where are you? Merge down. And that will make this image, if I pull all that off, one image, Rover and the background, one image. Do you see that? And that means that I can then go option and do it together. Two different ways of doing it depending on what you want to do. I'm going to go view. I'm going to go to my snap to the guides, making sure option, it snaps to the guides. There it goes. Do you see that? Option. And it actually snaps to the guides. That didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Because I've got 10 of them. That's why. There. Any questions? So we've got our image here. Oh, we've got a couple of these everywhere. We've got our image there. All right. Now you have to do a duotone. So let's click here and figure out how to do a duotone. So we can go here and we could go and look for duotone. Maybe I should go to my color balance or hue and saturation. If I go to my hue and saturation, I double click here, right? And it doesn't see, and it seems to be pulling up this panel here, properties. Now, to get a duotone, you can colorize. Do you see that? That gives you an automatic duotone. What have I got going here? Let me just have a look here. And trash that. Yep. And trash that. I've got something 2 on 1 layer. 1. So I'm going to do background 1, duotone, fresh, hold, and butch, and filter. All right, there it is. Or here's my duotone. I select this. Now, let's pull it off and put it on. I can go up to my image adjustments, right? And I can do selective color. So I can actually choose what colors I want. Let's have a look. Relative or absolute. I can take colors out. So it is really only 2 colors, but that to me is not the best way to do it. The best way to get a duotone is to go image, adjustments, do your hue and saturation, go down here and colorize, and it makes a duotone. That's it. It's as simple as that. Did you get that?
How do you do? I know how to do that one, but like, how do you do like the one like for the example one where it's like kind of just like I don't know how to describe it. It's on the Monster Mash Act Part 2 where like they're like all different color, kind of like even the dog kind of too.
That means you do them separately. Like this is done as
Uh,
one image, and that's why I did all these as separately.
do we have to do them separately, like colored like that, or does it really?
It's up to you. If you want the background to be, the background can be a different duotone than the foreground. Okay, so let me do it here. So let's take this top one off, right? So we have Rover in the top. So let's put that on. And I could get Rover here and I could have background. Let's just pull this up and put that behind here, right? I'm going to put that in the same layer and I'm going to say duotone 2, right? Rover, double click. Duotone meaning 2 colors, duo. So I have duotone here. I go to my image with Rover and I go to my adjustments, right? I go to my hue and saturation and I can colorize and I can change the color any which way I want, right? You can change it here. You can make it a little lighter, right? Right? And you can increase the saturation however you want, right? That's okay. Then I go to my background and I can go back up to my image. Sorry, yeah, my image adjustments, hue and saturation, colorize, right? And I can choose a different color in the background, right? Okay. So we've got the duotone now. I'm going to go down and we're going to do our threshold. So here's our threshold. I'm going to click on threshold. It's actually the wrong one, but that's okay. We've got this. We go up to our image, adjustments, and we look at our threshold. Simple. It's just introducing you simply to how to use these adjustment layers. The threshold makes it into black and white, which means you can play with how you want the background. That's it, people, right? Fun. You click OK. It makes it into a black and white. The threshold is used so you start to understand what colors have darks and what colors have lights. So if I put this here, you'll notice that this window is dark and this window is dark. When you are working with an image, you really want, you don't want it to be completely light like that, but you can use it if you want, right? Or you can do it completely dark like that. That is a vision. And you will see these techniques used graphically over and over and over again. It's not that someone's a great artist. They're just learning how to use the adjustments, right? And then I'm going to go to the filter. So here's my filter. And I go under my view filter. And I go down here and I go to my filter gallery. Here we are, right? And I can now choose cutouts and I can rough edges. And you start to play with the filters. This is where you start to have fun. And you can choose whatever filter you want, and then you can play with the sliders, right? Stroke length, and click OK. That's the assignment. That's what you will be posting for Monster Mash 2. Any questions?
So like for the first box, it can be just like the normal like creature with like the colorful background. Then for the next one, it's kind of like the dual tone, like I don't remember what the term was, and then the rest is just like threshold and filter.
Yeah, it's very simple. That's why once you've done the Monster Mash, this section here is starting to introduce you to adjustment layers, using your Snap to grid, using, learning how to make your images line up, and using the filters. It's an introduction to filters. So it's just an extra added bit to the assignment, to your techniques. Any questions? No? It's pretty, I mean, it's not easy, but it's just, we're adding to your skill sets. That's it, right? Okay.
So I don't have a question for you, but I do have a question for Torrance. Can you send me the video link if
Oh yeah,
possible?
yeah. Same for me for this one.
And I
Please.
did post it on the discussion board, by the way.
Yeah, I think you pasted the link in there. So like, if you could just do what you did last time, thank
Oh,
you.
I didn't see that one. Okay, so I'll check for the last one too, because I need that one as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it. I think I did. Don't tell anyone, but I think I did. Let's have a look. Zoom recording.
Yeah.
I did. Thank you. Really appreciate it. There it is there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that one. Now back to this how to, where you get your animals from. If you look under the how to, here it is. There it is. Search for, right. There's Shuttercock, copyright interest, Getty. So all the links are there.
That was under the Act 2.
No,
the
Act 1.
Oh.
How to Monster Mash Act 3. Blah, scroll down. And there's your sketch, there's your animal image, and there's the link. I even screenshotted it, right? But they're not the only ones. Like, and some are better than others, right? This is the Getty one. Getty's pretty good. But when you are selecting images, make sure they are high resolution images. And that's the issue when you just take snapshots or you just take images randomly off the internet, is that they're not normally high resolution images. This is a way of getting good high resolution images. Any other questions?
I do have a question, but it's not about this assignment, so
That's
I
okay.
can wait.
Ask
Okay.
away if you have it, and I bet you, is it personal? But I mean, just ask away. I'm sure other people have the same question.
I emailed you about it already, and you did get back to me. It's in regards to the extra credit assignment, Select Me Up. I was having a hard time uploading that one.
I know, it's a heavy file.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to reduce the size of the image and in hopes that it'll make it a smaller file when I upload it, but I'm scared that
I can give you a really quick solution.
Okay.
Take a screenshot of it and upload the screenshot.
Okay.
Right? That's a give me. If I have problems with anything, I often just take screenshots because I know it's just going to be 72 DPI. And if that's your final one, take a screenshot, name the file and shoot it up.
Okay, because it was saying I was trying to upload a JPEG in both forms, and it was saying, okay, this file type is not allowed. You have to submit a JPEG, and I'm like, well, that's what I'm submitting. I don't know what else.
I know, and I do put in, like, it even reads as if it is a .jpg or a .jpeg, but sometimes it's just, and often I have the problem because I go down to download these files and I just can't because they just don't even upload. So simple solution, take a screenshot.
Will do. Thank you so much.
And that's with everything. Anyone else? No. Awesome. Have a good week. Good luck.
Off topic, but I was gonna let you know that this is why I was asking about the assignments because I was worried that they might be a little late because I actually got tickets to a concert.
Ooh, you're so
I'm gonna
lucky. Look, again, this is asynchronous. So what happens here is you've got all semester to get these in. If you
okay,
keep on top of this, you will not be chasing yourself, right?
okay,
I do shut down Photoshop after the next assignment for a couple of weeks so that people don't get locked into wanting to do the Photoshop assignments, right? That we can start Illustrator. One thing I will show you. Let me come back here. And I did pull it up. So I want to show you InDesign, right? Sorry, people. InDesign, this is where you're going to do your portfolio. You have to download your portfolio. I think Act 3, if you go down here, the link down here, I'm pretty sure, takes you to portfolio, right? It'll take you to the Monster Mash portfolio. Download this file. It's an InDesign file. Then all you have to do is open it up in InDesign. Now, if you cannot, right, if you cannot get the selection and place the images in these boxes, it is because your layers are locked, right? Unlock them. That's all you have to do to get placed images in there. To get rid of the instructions, really easy, take the eyes off, right? If this is there, just delete it. Right? That one should not be there, so you can just delete it. And then you just sit here and you go File, Place. You find your image wherever it is, right? Let's go to, let's see if we can find one. Act 3, Rover, Open. There it is. He's big, double click, right? That's a big rover, right? Come on. Let's see if we can get the whole image. We have to make sure that we have the whole image. There's the whole image. Do you see that? Right? And you should be able to, if it's doing its job, I should be able to pick it up. Come on, buddy. Oh my God. That's not going to do it. You should be able to just double click and it should allow you to, in this area, show you, but it's not doing that. Why aren't you doing that? We hate it when our assignment doesn't work. It should be just double click in the center. And it should show the big image of Rover. Let's see. No, it's still not doing it. I hate it when it doesn't do it, right? That should be my solution. Come on, bud. There he is, right? And that's because it's huge. And that should enable me, as soon as I click on this, it should bring up the image and I should be able to reduce it, but it's not doing it, so I can't do it. Let's see. Let's see if we can get another one. There it is. Now it did it. Rover, stop. Sorry. You click on that and that'll reduce it to the size that you want. Do you see that? The other one just wasn't working. So you click on the center image and then you just plop it in there. Okay. It's all set up. If you download it, the portfolio is all set up in InDesign for you to get the images in really easily. To get rid of the text, just take the eye off. Adobe has made it really across the board. All the, sort of the properties and the tools are the same. Okay. All right. Isha, you good? Everybody good? Isha's found a solution. Download Chrome. We're on a roll. Everybody okay? 6, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm gonna download Chrome and figure out the other assignments.
Great. Okay.
What was the other name for the royalty free thing? Because for some reason
You
it
need
went
to go to the website that the Chrome, this class thing, and look at the actual assignment, right? There's
Well,
so
here's the
many.
thing. 'Cause I tried
Getty, Shuttercock, just Google royalty-free images,
okay.
right? That's it. All right. Good luck. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.